Hello everyone, and welcome to Toa's Rebooted Reviews. Today, I will be going over set number 700788, Kopaka, Master of Ice. This set contains 97 pieces. So, right off the bat, Kopaka's primary color scheme, although he doesn't really have a secondary one, so his only color scheme, sorry about that, consists of white, gold, and trans light blue. A few color scheme breakers / inconsistencies, aside from the bone pieces, includes the stickers, which some consider unnecessary, which contains traces of dark blue, not too big of an issue for me. Red pins on his spear and on the side of his head, and this yellow gear on his back. Sorry for all the noise when I put the camera back on the tripod. Can't really help it. This set also contains a number of recolors and new pieces. Let's start off with the recolors. This chest piece in gold, also the printing is new. There we go. Kopaka also features some trans blue 2-pinhole bones. I don't want to take apart his leg to show you. There we go. Now you can see the whole thing. Well, very nice, very useful. In the same color, this set contains 2 of the longest bone pieces that have no pinholes. Translate blue. The 2.0 fists, also in translate blue. Yet more recolors. The stickers themselves are new, and these pieces, these wide, weirdly shaped pieces, are new in white. I think that about does it for the recolors. This is sort of a recolor. It's a different silver than that which was used in 2003. This is a Gurak staff piece. They brought it back, which is very nice. Now, new pieces. New pieces include the skull spider legs, and you get 4 of these, in addition to the skull spider mask / body / face. Next up is these new armor attachments that are meant to resemble toa+mata torso in white, which is a very nice color, because you can't use gold and silver on, everything. Although, they have those 2 colors do have a tendency to go well with pretty much everything. And you get 4 of those. Even more than the Protector of Ice, although Protector of Ice only has 3, so it's not that big of a accomplishment or surprise. Another new piece is the gearbox piece, but I'm not willing to disassemble Kopaka's gearbox just to show you guys that. I'm sure you can look up plenty of images of it. I can detach Kopaka's arms to show you. See, this whole thing, minus the blue pin, that's the gearbox piece. And then this part. So, it's incredibly useful. It's great. Everybody loves it. Now, more new pieces is the new head, the eye stalk, and the head. Still in silver, The eye stalk is trans blue. Kopaka's sword pieces recolored in white. Either that, or you could view Kopaka's shield pieces being recolored in the Tahu set, whichever you prefer. But anyway, this piece in white, you get 2 of them. And then the last 2 new pieces is the Mask of Ice in white, and the Golden Mask of Ice in, well, gold. This golden mask is especially convenient. No more hunting them down in mask packs. This one, as far as we know, pretty much does little to nothing elemental wise. And this mask is Toa level elemental powers from G1. Now that I got all those new fancy pieces back on Kopaka, we can continue reviewing the figure himself. Some things I'd like to cover. Just some general appearance, compliments, and complaints. This bone is a little bit exposed, but the way the armor is arranged, you can't avoid that. Unfortunately, this limits his articulation. Very bad for some skiing poses. I tried to put him in earlier. Couldn't do that because of those pieces. The back of his legs are exposed. There's a gap here. All the color scheme complaints I mentioned earlier. These shoulder pads get in the way, but there are 2 points of articulation that you can use to move them around, so that's okay. That's actually it. Not a whole lot wrong with Kopaka. His hands, they look like they're made of ice because of that color. It's very nice. Especially when you take off this armor piece. It's just like his entire forearm is made of ice. Speaking of articulation a bit earlier, he has articulation in his ankles, his knees, his hips, his wrists, his elbows, shoulders, his neck, 2 in these shoulder pads. Well, 2 each in these shoulder pads. And if you count the gear function as articulation, there's also that. Speaking of functions, like I just said, he has a number of them, including the gear function. Move the shoulder pad out of the way, which works very nicely. You can pose him, and his arm won't flop down, unlike with G1 Bionicle gearboxes and functions. So that is very nice. Another function, let me get my paper over here, is the conflict in a box between Kopaka and the Skull Spider. Skull Spider wants him to prevent him from getting his golden mask right here, and Kopaka wants his golden mask, so the 2 of them have to battle it out. It's a very one-sided battle. Another function is if you hit the eye stalk at the back of Kopaka's head, the mask will fall off, allowing the Skull Spider to come in here and take control. Now, a lot of people don't wrap the bottom legs around because it makes posing the head extremely difficult, if not impossible. Plus, unless you remove the head, you can't do it at all, despite what the promotional images on the boxes show you. So, let me try and do what no one else has tried to do, and like I said, wrap the legs around head. This is not going to work at all. It's even worse on the toa because of their chest plates and the little knobby things on the skull spider's legs. Now, of course, when the legs are wrapped around, no launching function, so just use your hands. That's what they're there for, is manipulating objects and picking things up, but that counts as manipulating objects. So, if Kopaka does not run into any trouble, he should be able to retrieve his golden mask, and thus unlocking his elemental powers and adrenaline mode. Now, despite what the box tells you, this mode that he's in right now is not his adrenaline mode. At least according to the animations. Assuming they're canon. So what you're going to want to do is take Kopaka's spear and turn it from a ski pole into a actual spear. Like that. Oh yeah, note the concentration of gold as I mentioned earlier. Next thing you're going to want to do is take these off his feet, preferably with these pins, which like to stick to his feet much more than these particular pieces, as most of us know. And plug those in to these two holes right here. Now, what you're going to want to do is just connect them like that and give the whole thing to Kopaka. And there you have it, Kopaka's adrenaline mode. Now, I enjoyed both modes. I enjoy this one a lot more. The skis are a nice nod to toa+nuva. The shield is a nod to Kopaka, both mata and nuva. It's very large. It can actually protect him now. Cough, cough. Kopaka's mata's shield is full of holes. Cough, cough. You know, it's pretty much as big as he is, if not bigger. Yeah, it is bigger than he is. It works very well. There's a slight rotation. Usually the pinholes and the rotation, but, you know. The only detriment is the way he holds it. As you can see here, it makes posing very difficult despite the advantages afforded by the wrist articulation and the rotation of the shield itself. It only takes about one or two pieces to fix that issue, but I don't have any of the pieces necessary, well, either of the pieces necessary, on hand to fix it, so I can't show you guys how to fix that. Now, there are two other things that are functions in this set. Is the combo models, which are technically one, but yeah. So you can combine Kopaka with the Protector of Ice, but of course that will come in another video. Speaking of the two of them together, they look very well together. You know, the ice aesthetic on him and the ice aesthetic on him work very well. Personally, I think that Kopaka's gold doesn't really work as well with these colors. I personally would have preferred either gunmetal or silver. Well, gunmetal. I remember Jangbricks made a video a little bit ago showing Kopaka with all of his gold as gunmetal, and I thought that looked great. But, yeah, that is about it. What do you guys think? Is Kopaka's gold good or bad? Do you enjoy his color scheme? Do you enjoy the dynamic between these two characters? What do you think of Kopaka slipping? Where do you think the story will go? Do you think we will get names for any of the protectors? Say so in the comments below. Or, you could also like, rate, well, no, not rate, that's 2007. Like, share, subscribe, dislike, but explain why you disliked it with some constructive criticism. And I will see you when I review the Protector of Ice here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.